Over the past few days, we've either all read or seen the story on Miriam Carey and the tragedy that occurred on Capitol Hill. Now, it was a very, very sad event that happened, but I do think that there was a small silver lining. It's that it reopened the dialogue about postpartum depression and, in Miriam Carey's case, postpartum psychosis. After looking at a couple different medical journals, I learned that about 70 to 80% of women deal with baby blues after having a baby, 10 to 15% deal with postpartum depression somewhere on the spectrum, and then 0.1% deal with postpartum psychosis, which is what we hear most about in cases like Andrea Yates and Miriam Carey. Now, in my situation, after I had my son, I dealt with the baby blues, and then I extended past the normal set of baby blues, which goes anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks. And I still felt empty, irritable, moody, but I never wanted to hurt my son. But after doing some research online, speaking with my husband, a healthcare professional, and then some other women I knew, I realized that I had a mild form of postpartum depression. And it was really hard for me to hear that label because there's such a stigma attached to it. And so this kind of conjured up a lot of feelings inside of me, so I decided to blog about it. And it was a really, really good outlet for me to get out all these different feelings. However, when I went to go hit the publish button, I felt nervous, shameful, and a little bit of trepidation as to what people would think about me. But I did it anyway. And what I realized on the other side was that there were so many women that have dealt with postpartum depression in so many different ways. And I felt really connected, like I wasn't dealing with this all by myself, and it made me feel much better about the situation. But it also made me think about the sheer number of friends I have on Facebook. And just by that number, I know that there's women that I know or that these people will know that will deal with baby blues, postpartum depression, and perhaps even postpartum psychosis. And I wish there was some way that we could be more accountable to the women we know having babies. How do we check in with them and talk to them about baby blues, postpartum depression, without inferring that they perhaps have postpartum psychosis or are going to do something to hurt their baby? I'm looking to you all for some tips on how to start this conversation and ways that we can normalize the word postpartum depression. I also wanted to put out there that one of the websites I used for my own research was www.postpartumhealthalliance.org.